Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check. How we doing, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for tuning into the board review. I apologize for keeping you all waiting so long. As soon as I was ready to go, my dog wanted to go outside, and when my dog goes outside, it takes a few minutes because he's very frail. And also, there's a nice breeze, and he was sniffing the breeze, and I say, you know what? I'm not going to cut it short. These motherfuckers can wait. All right, they can wait. So, anyways, we're back. I'm wearing headphones, so my dog barks won't cut through. Okay. Real quick, hold on. I just want to get everybody fluffed up and ready to go. I see the chat is buzzing today. What's up, Cam? Good morning to you. Hey, Zeus, Mr. 60 Stream Streak, if I'm not mistaken. Getting my DGen hoodie today. Love to hear that. Kevin D, appreciate it. DGen's going to explode on chat today for the ND drama. I might. We'll see. Chiote. DGen is also wrong. Hilarious. Funny as shit, all these people crying. Don't give a shit if Tulane and me get beat. They deserve to get in under the format. I think so as well. Snacks. DGen, this ND take might be up there for the worst take you've had. Hilarious. You guys don't know ball. It's amazing. Really, it should be the undefeated and one-loss teams conference winners. Okay. It sounds like wants team to be punished for making their conference championship game. Oh, wow. The context lacking here is unbelievable. Making your conference championship game. Congratulations to Alabama for making the conference championship game. That's like, hey, if your neighbor makes you a cake, congratulations if your neighbor makes you a cake. How about you take a bite of it and it's made with shit? How about you take a bite of the cake and see what it's made with? Does it taste good? How about that? Talk about participation trophies. Congratulations, making your conference championship game. But hey, let's not talk about what happened. Let's not talk about the outcome. Let's not talk about what they look like against superior competition. I'm sorry, but if you watch that Alabama game, we got Mark Ingram and Damian Harris. We have two running backs that played on Alabama saying Bama shouldn't get in. But I got fucking Snacks and JJ Miles in here saying, DJ, this is your worst take ever. You guys don't know ball, but anyways, I'm not going to talk much more because we do have somebody joining us today. Thank goodness. Whoever called the Bucks frauds might be correct. Yeah, I hope Corn's not in here. Anyways, ND should join a conference. We'll talk about that. We're gonna address the college football drama. Obviously, we got to talk about Notre Dame. I'm fired up. I got a rant going, buzzing on Twitter right now. A lot of people chirping me. A lot of people agreeing with me. It's been fun. We're gonna get my friend Drew up here. Our friend Steak is not in today. He's got to deal with some family stuff. All is well. But he's not going to be here for the recap, so we're getting Drew in, which I'm very excited about. Drew is a certified ball knower. He's been on the Rays Glaze that we've done probably about 10, 11 episodes till we just flat out gave up and quit. Oh, like Notre Dame? Shut up. But anyways, we're gonna get Drew up here. We're gonna talk a little college football because we have to. But typically Mondays are recaps for the NFL. So we're going to stick to the plan. We're going to recap the NFL. We're going to go through the games. We're going to talk any relevant topics that needs to be addressed with the NFL and takeaways from yesterday. But everybody is too hyper-focused on college. So we do have to talk about that. Then when Steak joins tomorrow, we'll recap some of the conference championship games. We'll talk about the layout, the matchups and everything because Tuesdays are for college. So I don't want to switch it up too much, but it does have to be addressed. And Drew, like I said, is a ball knower, so it'll be great to talk about. Drew, you ready to roll? All right, I'm going to get Drew up here. All right, let's check those microphones. How we doing?
Hey now, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for joining. We appreciate it. Subbing in for Steak. Drew was at the bar with us yesterday. He had a different Miami Hurricanes hat on. That's great. You're filling in for Steak nicely, by the way, with the hats. But
I'm also bald too, so we got that in common too. There's a little bit of a weight difference though.
That's true. Yes, there is a little bit. Although Steak is on been very good with his diet, so he'll be up to you in no time. Me, I can't say as much for myself, but yes, and don't worry, I have a balding spot back here.
Oh, please, you got plenty of hair.
You see that though?
I know, but anybody who gives you shit about hair, they don't know what they're talking about. You're almost 40 years old. You have tons of hair,
babe. I need you to hear what Drew just said. Yeah,
you're doing good. You're doing
my
good.
Fucking wife who's talking about the surgery. Anyways. Drew, thanks for joining. So Drew and I have been friends since middle school, long time. Steak and Drew have been friends as well, mutually, have come through the bars and everything like that we worked at or whatnot. So, but back in the day, so Drew's been a longtime Miami Hurricanes fan, also the only Florida Panthers fan I know. And
before they got good.
Yep, you're an OG and straight up, you were a Rays fan. You were the first Rays fan. I wasn't even a Rays fan yet when you were a Rays fan. I was just a Yankee hater. And then I got involved, and that was fun. That was a good time. But anyways, through it all, thick and thin, with Notre Dame, with Miami, Drew is very level-headed. I will say, I think that's one thing you can appreciate about myself, Steak, even Idiot Greg, but Drew, all of our friends are not irrational, are not clouded by bias and stupidity. So I think you're going to give a very level-headed take, but we have to talk about who's in, who's out in college football. Where should we start?
Oh, well, first I want to start by apologizing to you with who had a worse sports weekend than you, between Notre Dame getting fucked, the Bucks looking like absolute pathetic losers yesterday. Magic had an injury, so very difficult sports weekend for you. So we won't cry too much for you, but yeah, rough one for you. And also, thank God, I was waiting for you to bring this up yesterday at the bar. I am so thankful that you have a memory like a goldfish. The reason being is you and I watched ND Miami together.
Oh, I remember it.
Several
in
months
Chicago?
ago. No. Several months ago when they played each other week 1.
Oh, yeah.
But the reason why I'm thankful that you're forgetting that you and I watched that together, because I kept saying at the end of the game when it was like kind of evident Miami was going to win, oh, it's week 1. This game won't matter. If Notre Dame takes care of business, everything's still on the table. And sure enough, who would have thought while we were watching the game that night that game would have ended up determining everything?
Yeah, I would say that game determined almost everything, because I still think if Notre Dame doesn't lose on the last second to Texas A&M,
oh yeah, they're in. Yeah, true.
They're in. But
right, but we didn't. I never thought the game was going to be as important as it ended up being.
But if Miami doesn't beat Notre Dame,
oh, they're out. 100%.
They're out.
100%.
They're out.
Not even in a conversation.
So that was massive. I think you can appreciate, and I think most people can appreciate my opinion on Notre Dame. If Notre Dame was going to be in, Miami had to be in as well.
Right.
It could not be Notre Dame over Miami. I think that just makes such a terrible precedent for college football and head-to-heads not being relevant. So at the end of the day, if Notre Dame is out and Miami is in, fine. My biggest issue is I feel like Alabama is getting some sort of, I don't know, treatment from the SEC bias. And there's a lot of conflict with this. There's a lot of disagreement.
Well, we all saw it coming because Alabama, they moved up in the polls for barely beating Auburn. So the committee was setting Bama up to be, fully covered no matter what happened in the SEC title game. And of course, the committee got their nightmare scenario where Alabama got absolutely destroyed. It was never a game. People are just forgetting about BYU. BYU at least fought for a quarter. At least for one quarter, it looked like, oh, wow, we might have a game here. BYU, they may hang around. Really, 10 minutes into Bama, Georgia, the game was over. And the committee set up Bama so they couldn't fall back and out of the playoff, which seems insane to me because they're not playing well. They're 2-2 their last 4 games. They look like shit against Auburn, and they were as uncompetitive as you could be against Georgia. So even, as you said, former players who were superstars for them, they don't want to see them in the playoff. I tweeted, if you're an Alabama fan, why would you want to see this team in the playoff? They have zero chance. And then, of course, they fucking set them up even more so where they get to play at Oklahoma, who's probably one of the shittiest teams of this entire tournament. So, yeah, the Bama bias, it's sickening. As a Hurricane fan, I thought we were going to get fucked, but I thought it was going to be Notre Dame getting in over us. I just had it in my mind. Bama was in 100%. I knew that they were going to fuck everybody. And the only logic I can think of is just the relationship between the SEC and ESPN and those hundreds of millions of dollars TV contracts. That's the only thing I could think of. Because if you're a football fan, you can't possibly want to see Alabama in the playoff over Notre Dame, in my opinion.
Well, that's what people keep saying. And I have been going to war yesterday with this video that I have, and I'm trying to respond to everybody. But a lot of people have a hard time thinking that Notre Dame should be in over Alabama. And the reason is they do have some wins. But nobody mentions their loss to FSU. That's the one thing that's blowing my mind. They're getting just one ginormous pass. And I can't help but also realize, okay, if you're gonna say week 1 was a distant memory, and give teams a pass, because I do agree, and I think you would. I
don't.
Okay, but hold on.
We could debate that, but I don't.
No. I don't either. But what I'm saying is, let's play devil's advocate. Let's pretend week 1 is a wash, and let's say, okay, you know what? It's how the team is right now 12 weeks later, because I think you and I will both agree Notre Dame is a better team now than they were when they played Miami.
Sure. Miami's better too.
Exactly. But Alabama, these past few weeks, has not been good. In that game against Auburn, I watched the entire fucking game. I had Alabama. I was invested. They looked good for like 2-3 drives. Then they just stalled. They couldn't do anything. Even the announcers were like, I don't know what happened to this Alabama passing game.
But Jed, it's the Iron Bowl. It just means more. Fuck you. What does that even mean? That how come then Miami doesn't get extra credit for beating the shit out of FSU? Miami FSU means a ton. It means a ton, no matter how shitty FSU is or no matter how shitty Miami is. That game, it means a ton. And Miami went to Tallahassee and destroyed them. What happened with Alabama went to Tallahassee? Oh, and by the way, that week 1 game against FSU that people don't want to talk about because it's week 1. And for some reason, college football is the only sport where week 1 doesn't fucking matter, which we can debate that later. It wasn't like the type of game where like, oh, you know what? FSU got cute. A bunch of trick plays, crazy pick 6, fluky win. FSU beat their ass on the line of scrimmage. It was not a competitive football game. FSU was clearly the better team that day. That's a disqualifying loss. When you pair that with 2 more losses on top of it, I don't give a fuck who the other 2 losses are to. You should be out. You should be out. So it's a disgrace Alabama's in the playoff, honestly.
And by the way, people want to talk about Auburn. And I understand that for the most part, they played their competition tough. They played Georgia tough. They played Missouri tough. They played Texas A&M, Oklahoma. They lost these games by 1 possession. They lost to Vanderbilt in overtime. But this is pathetic. I'm sorry. A 5-7 Auburn team, a win in week 12, barely escaping. This is who Auburn has beat this year, Drew. You ready for this?
Did they even beat Kentucky?
No, they lost to Kentucky.
Oh, my God. And Kentucky, by the way, lost 41-0 to Louisville's backup quarterback. So if you want to tell me the ACC fucking sucks, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah. So this is who Auburn beat. Baylor in week 1, which we thought Baylor was going to be good. We thought that was, remember, we were like, oh, Jackson Arnold's fucking back. He's fucking, get your Heisman ticket in now. That ended up not being that great of a win. Baylor kind of stunk. Ball State, South Alabama, Arkansas, who was terrible.
Terrible team.
And Mercer. Those are Auburn's wins. Mercer, South Alabama.
But the Iron Bowl just means more, bro. It just means more. For some reason, Miami FSU doesn't mean more. Some reason, Miami Florida doesn't mean more. But the Iron Bowl means more. I don't know what that means. All I know is Alabama's offense is dog shit. I am not looking forward to their game against Oklahoma. I'm not looking forward to a lot of these games outside of Texas A&M and Miami.
No.
What game is really getting you excited to tune into?
No, the first round it was an absolute disaster. Think about this. The one thing you should try to avoid is rematches, because you want to see, the fun thing about playoffs in college football is like you get to see some teams out of conference that wouldn't normally play each other. Like how cool would it be to see Alabama even in Oregon? You know, like just these cool different brands in unfamiliar places. That would be awesome. But hold on, before we talk about the week 1, this has to be addressed. So winning at Georgia means nothing.
Absolutely, it means something. You know what it meant? It meant to give Alabama a chance where if they, in the SEC title game, forget winning the game, if they were competitive, close game, let's even say that they ended up losing by 10. Let's say they lost by 10 points, but it was the type of game where like, oh, you know what? It was close. They threw a pick at the end and they just kind of pulled away. Sure, put Bama in. Put it in. But the game, did you watch the game?
The whole thing.
Did you watch the game? Well, I'm asking the people in the chat. Did you watch Georgia, Alabama? Because if you did, there's no way these games have to mean something. You can't just be a blanket statement. You can't be penalized for a conference championship game. Well, then if you can't be penalized for it, then why fucking play it? Why play it? Then if Alabama knew, we can't be penalized, play all your walk-ons. Play everybody. You know what I mean? Why risk an injury? Just, start getting ready for Oklahoma. These games, you can't just lay an egg and there be no penalty. Then why play the game?
I don't know. I think conference championships are probably going to be irrelevant soon regardless, but we'll talk about actual bowl games outside of the playoff because I'm curious about your Notre Dame take. But before we move on, I do just want to talk about that Bama game for a second in Georgia. I agree with you. People are saying that win against Georgia meant nothing. No. You know what that did, in my opinion? I'll speak in terms like a sports bettor again. Some people won't like this. Some people will like this. I think this makes sense. all Bama had to do, because they beat Georgia once, it's really hard to beat the same team twice, is just be competitive. And in my mind, that was a 2.5, 3-point spread, whatever the fuck it ended up closing. Don't care. That's not that relevant. It was basically like Bama on a teaser. Like, oh, Bama, all you have to do is cover like 14.5. Cover two possessions. Maybe if you even lose the game, 27-10. I don't know. It would be so much more respectable. Drew, they almost got shut out.
They had -3 rushing yards. They had to me, it's not even about how many points they lost by. Because, like I said, again, let's say it was 14-10 at halftime, kind of tight, anybody's game, and then late third quarter, Georgia just starts pulling away. And then I'd be like, yeah, you know what? I still think Notre Dame get fucked, but I'm not maybe shouting about it. But this deserves shouting about. Honestly, it does. And I don't even get it, because you got former Bama greats saying they shouldn't be in. I truly don't understand. I feel like we're living on a different planet than the rest of the people out there. You have to be
so ballsy to be a Alabama player, a known Alabama player too, to go up there on the national stage with a microphone and say Alabama shouldn't be in. Not only did Mark Ingram do it, but another guy fucking did it. This makes it so apparent to me, and I don't understand how.
That's what makes them great, though, because they were part of fantastic all-time Bama teams. They know this isn't one of them.
No.
So they're just calling a spade a spade. So props to them. And just like we would too. If Miami was in exactly Alabama's situation and they played in a conference title game and they got absolutely destroyed, there's no fucking way I'd be crying if they were left out, right? And if Notre Dame, I know they're not in a conference. Well, let's just say for some reason on conference championship weekend, I don't know, they played USC for some reason, and they got their doors blown off. Would you be crying about them getting in?
No. But I'm just, first of all, let's stop with Tennessee. Stop with Tennessee.
Tennessee was ranked every single week of the season, and they didn't beat a team that's bowl eligible. Oh, and you want to know how many teams are in bowl games? 82. So who the fuck did they beat? Who did they beat? They basically beat fucking, I can't even name the types of teams that Tennessee beat. Fuck Tennessee. I am so sick and tired of Tennessee. Missouri is a tough team. Good win. Georgia's a great win. Maybe the best win out of everything. So that's why Alabama had the opportunity in this game, in my opinion, to make the playoff if they were competitive. And they couldn't even do that.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. You and I agree. You are by no means a Notre Dame defender, by the way.
No, but
but
I think Notre Dame should be in, because I think it's night and day that Notre Dame is a better team, and Notre Dame has a realistic chance to win the national title. Hell, the odds makers, I think, gave them fourth best odds to win the national title. And then, it's a difficult situation for Notre Dame where, you lost heartbreaker to Miami, you lose to A&M by 1, and then your next 10 opponents, you beat them all by 30-plus points. What the fuck else do you want Notre Dame to do? What do you want them to do?
I don't know. And it's unfortunate because I don't want to glorify losses, but the reality is the margins of defeat actually do have to mean something. And Notre Dame, you know what? I've said this, and I'll say it again. There are two things where at the end of the day, people keep saying, "Oh, Irish tears," or keep crying. I think I am probably taking the best stand, the most respectable stand of any Notre Dame fan. Notre Dame is responsible for themselves not being in the playoff for two reasons. They played like giant pussies at Miami. They only threw the ball over 20 yards twice, one of which was caught. I don't know why you start CJ Carr if you're not going to play aggressive. They should have just went with a quarterback that can scramble. Number two, why would anyone schedule their first two opponents of the year at Miami and Texas A&M at home? Nobody does that. Nobody does that. Who, even if you open up the year with a tough opponent, you then get a couple of cupcakes. Who did Miami play after Notre Dame? Do you remember?
Probably like Bethune-Cookman.
Probably Bethune-Cookman. Who did fucking?
But then we played the Gators, who ended up sucking. But yes,
sure. But getting another game under your belt, or even two games under your belt, is really, really important. So Notre Dame did a stupid fucking thing, and I understand people are going to say, "Oh, they made these schedules years in advance. You don't know who's going to be." Come on, man. Like, Texas A&M is not going to be easy. So that was stupid, and they fucked themselves. Nobody does that. That was stupid. So they fucked themselves. I'm okay with them being out. But Drew, I have to ask you before we talk about them not taking a bowl game. People keep saying join a conference. I just think it's hard to just say that is the easy fix when Go ahead.
I mean, this is a bigger problem. This is where it gets really confusing, and it honestly could take up your entire show today. It could take up the entire week. College football is a disaster right now, honestly, because I am in the weeds. I'm on the message boards. It's embarrassing, right? And still nobody can explain how Duke made the ACC title game.
Exactly.
I'm talking about the nerds of the nerds of the nerds. Nobody understands these stupid tiebreakers. How the fuck does a team – I bet most of your chat doesn't know this. Duke went 6-2 in the ACC, allegedly. However, they lost to NC State during the year, but it didn't count as a conference game.
Why?
No fucking clue. No fucking clue. Look it up if you don't believe me. Look it up. You know what? I'm not saying that you don't believe me, but just double check that I'm right, that I'm not going crazy. But it makes no sense, these conferences. And the problem with Notre Dame joining a conference is there's we need more conferences then, because what is the point of like having these conferences where the teams don't even fucking play each other?
Oh my God. Thank you so much. This is
what is the point?
Do you remember the COVID year? The COVID year was actually brilliant. It was like, okay, we're going to cut the bullshit. Florida, you're just going to play everyone in the SEC. Miami, you're going to play everyone in that was the best.
But now there's too many teams in the conference. You couldn't even do that. So what you need to do is you need more conferences. You need to have 8 teams per conference. You need to have like, okay, the top 40 programs and 5 conferences and 8 teams, and they all play each other. Until that happens, you're constantly going to have this shit coming up because there's too many teams in the SEC. There's too many teams in the Big Ten. Why are they even fucking called the Big Ten? How many teams are in that fucking conference now?
I don't know. It's so stupid. I don't know. It's so stupid. Go ahead.
So they really have to start like adding more conferences, and you play everybody in your conference. So there's none of this hypothetical bullshit of, oh, well, Indiana didn't play this team and Ohio State didn't play this team. And this, because let's say Notre Dame joins the ACC. Well, then, what if it's a year where they don't play Miami? Or let's just say FSU's good this year instead of Miami, and then they didn't play them. Then it's the same fucking shit. So we're gonna, and the whole other issue too we could get into is how the fuck is James Madison in this tournament? How their best win, I was looking it up, was against Washington State by 4 points. That's their best win of the year, is beating Washington State 24-20. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Why is James Madison and Tulane in this tournament? And like, I don't want to penalize these teams. I think Group of 5 football is great. I think they can be fantastic teams, great stories. Why not have a Group of 5 tournament?
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Why not say, you know what, let's take the best 12 Group of 5 teams and then they all fucking play each other and they have a tournament. That'd be a lot of fun. It's all be in small stadiums, be fun to gamble on, something to watch during the holidays, and somebody to actually win a championship. You could be the Group of 5 champion. Is it really that satisfying for the James Madison players to pack their bags and go lose by 4 touchdowns in 2-3 weeks? Is that really that much fun?
No. And how about as a college football fan? You wait all season to get this 12-team playoff, these first rounds, and 2 of these games are probably not even going to be competitive. The fact that the way all of this landed too, that Tulane has to play Ole Miss again blows my mind. Blows my mind.
So why not? I mean, make Group of 5 football meaningful. Have them have their own champion, kind of like almost like a NIT tournament. You know what I'm saying? And to make it even fun, like maybe even throw in like 2 to 4 of the better Power 4 teams who didn't make the playoff.
Right.
That'd be kind of fun, right? If you threw in a team kind of on the outskirts, like a team ranked 20th or so in the Group of 5 tournament. That would be a lot more fun than what we're currently set up with.
Yeah. No, by the way, Drew, you're getting some praise in the chat, which is not surprising. I know you know ball. Steak knows you know ball. We're very happy to have you on and talk about this, but where was it? Picks with Deej. He's a ball knower. He loves smaller conference play. Snack says, Broby spitting. Yeah. Drew is making too much sense. Yeah, he does. He's a smart guy. You don't have to like him. You don't have to agree with him, though. Don't be too nice to him.
Can I give you one minor thing where this is very minor compared to Notre Dame, where one team should be bitching? I'm not hearing a lot about. Just one very minor, real quick.
Sure.
Texas A&M. Texas A&M got fucked. They lost one game, and how do they fall behind Ole Miss? Because now Texas A&M is going to have I'm not even saying this as a Hurricane fan. They're going to have a very, very tough game now against Miami, whether you're a Hurricane fan or not. Whereas Ole Miss, they get to play fucking Tulane again. And Ole Miss, how did they not get penalized somewhat for losing their coaching staff? It makes no sense to me that you put Ole Miss 6 and A&M 7. Does that make sense to you?
No. No, I didn't even really think about that. No, it doesn't
Again,
make
it's
sense
very
to me.
minor in the grand scheme of things, compared to Notre Dame and all the other things we're talking about. But I feel like A&M has got a real gripe today. They lost one game and they fall all the way to 7, and then now they're presented with a very difficult game where now Ole Miss they get to fucking play Tulane. Are you kidding me? So I think Texas A&M got fucked.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even really think about that because I think Miami is without a doubt the toughest road team in week 1 because you Tulane, James Madison,
Well,
Alabama,
Alabama's actually
Miami.
favored, I think, against Oklahoma.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, yeah, we'll talk about that. I agree. A&M and Ole Miss should have been flipped. Right, the two G5 teams fucked up everything. They really did. If Virginia beat Duke, would anything have changed? Who would Virginia been in over? James Madison.
James Madison, yes.
James
Yeah.
Madison. Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
And honestly, why not put Duke in over James Madison? At least Duke has won. I mean, the thing that Manny Diaz was saying, which I agree with, he said we have 7 Power 4 wins. James Madison has like 0.
Yeah.
So like, if you're gonna put like a bullshit team in, at least reward Duke then for winning that game. If not, again, what is the point of playing that game?
Duke lost to UConn and Illinois. I'm out. Yeah, no, I know. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I also just at the end of the day, I stand for certain principles. You can't have a team with 5 losses in the playoffs. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Snacks is asking, why is Oklahoma in?
Very fair point. Very fair point. I don't think. Well, they have. That's a good question, honestly. That's a good question. I feel like their resume is probably worse than Alabama's.
Yeah.
Can you pull up Oklahoma's resume? Can you look at? I mean, I know they have a very good defense. They have a horrific offense, so they're very similar to Bama in that sense. They beat Alabama, but if memory serves me correctly, Bama just kept turning the ball over, and Alabama outplayed them that day.
Yeah. Oh, God damn it. That's the basketball schedule. Hold on. Oklahoma football, ESPN schedule. He wants to see today at 11:30. I'm not available. So see if anyone else to show. Okay. Here we go. So Oklahoma, the Sooners played. They beat Illinois State. They beat Michigan. Michigan's terrible. They beat Temple. They beat Auburn. They beat Kent State. They lost to Texas. So those first 6 weeks, you at the time, this is another thing people kept saying. They kept saying, oh, they beat 4 ranked teams and they include Tennessee. I'm like, stop saying they beat a ranked team when the team was ranked at the time. It doesn't that's so stupid. You wait to see how the season plays out because that team could be total ass. So anyways, Michigan fucking sucks. Auburn sucks. Then they lost to Texas. They beat South Carolina. They lost to Ole Miss. They beat Tennessee, who stinks. So their best win was at Alabama by far. They beat Missouri. They beat LSU. LSU and Missouri were not bad.
What happened in the Oklahoma-Ole Miss game? I honestly don't remember that game.
It was a very, very good game. It was 34-26. I remembered. I had Ole Miss over win, so I was very invested in that game. Ole Miss looked really good. They got on top of them. Oklahoma kind of came back, but Ole Miss really kind of dominated that game. If I go, that was, by the way, that was in Oklahoma. Yeah, Ole Miss was winning 22-10 at halftime. Let me look at the box score for a second. They fucking dominated, actually. They had 21 first downs. Oklahoma had 14, 431 total yards of offense. And no turnovers. No turnovers.
Yeah, Oklahoma. I mean, for all the shit we've talked about Alabama, if I had to gamble on it, I'd probably pick Alabama over Oklahoma.
These two clowns arguing why Notre Dame should be in over Oklahoma and Alabama is hurting my brain. Hank Powell, it just sounds like you've got a little something called SEC bias in your brain, and that is okay. I'm not going to try to remove that from you. I want to talk about one thing real quick when we just shit on Notre Dame's schedule. Can we just talk about this for 2 seconds, and then I want to ask you some questions about Notre Dame. This is the schedule for 2025. Now, does anybody know the answer to this? When are these schedules made? Is it 4, 5, 6 years in advance?
Several years in advance.
Okay, several years in advance. And everybody keeps talking about don't schedule a bunch of cupcakes. Okay, let's just play something out real quick. Years ago, they said we're going to start the year at Miami, then we're going to play Texas A&M. Again, I said that's very stupid. Then they play Purdue. Should have played Purdue before you play Texas A&M. But regardless, for the first 3 weeks of a schedule, I don't think you'll find a more difficult one in college football. Drew, their next game is on the road at Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean, Arkansas traditionally you would think is like a 8-4 at worst, 6-6, kind of a feisty team.
on the road against an SEC opponent. So let me just explain something to people who keep talking about a cupcake Notre Dame schedule. In the first 4 weeks, Notre Dame plays 2 SEC opponents, 1 on the road, and on the road against Miami. Go look at what Penn State does. Go look at what any Big Ten fucking team does.
Look at Indiana. Look at Indiana's schedule, please.
Indiana. And then come back and cry to me that, oh, don't be an independent. Don't be an independent and control your schedule. They tried to make it competitive, you dumb fucks. What do they do after that, Drew? You ask. They played Boise State. Is Boise State not a respectable fucking football team?
The most reliable group of 5 team you could think of. If you had to pick one group of 5 team that's going to be good every year, you would pick Boise State.
Unbelievable. Then they play NC State. Wasn't NC State just 2-3 years ago? You had fucking talks about them winning the ACC, going to a playoff. Dave Dorner was a head coach.
Hey, they beat the ACC champion this year. How about that? They beat Duke.
NC State. Okay, well, cupcake schedule. What I'm walking through here is actually not a very cupcake schedule. Then they play USC, and then it softens up at the end. You go to Boston College, you play Navy. Navy, they always play Navy for 100 fucking years. And then you're on the road at Pitt. Pitt
was pretty good this year. It was pretty good. They were pretty good
this year. Syracuse was abysmal. If they had Angeli, it would have been more respectable. And then you end the game on the West Coast with Stanford. Now, here's the problem. Stanford being terrible really fucks things up for Notre Dame because you and I remember this. Most young people don't. If you're 24, 25 years old, you probably don't remember Stanford ever being good. They used to be a good fucking program. They used to win 8-9 games. They had a great running game. They had a stout defense. They were disciplined, tough coaching. Them and they will forever be on Notre Dame's schedule because they're big rivals. They're big rivals, just like Navy, just like USC. And it's
listen. At the end of the day, playing Texas A&M, playing Miami, playing USC, those are 3 big boy programs that they played. 3 very big boy programs that they played. And, it's not their fault that Arkansas and Stanford and all these teams have absolutely collapsed as programs. What are you going to do about it? It would be nice if they maybe played Louisville this year instead of Syracuse or something along those lines. But that's just not the way it went out.
You can't do this. You can't do this, Hank. Come on. You can't do this. I never said that. I never said a win that Notre Dame has on their schedule compares to a win at Georgia. I didn't
let's just
say
ask
that.
Hank, is there anything that could have disqualified Alabama in that conference championship game? How much more uncompetitive would they have needed to be for you to finally say, you know what, you're right? Did they need to lose 59-0? Did they need to lose 68-3? What is the score that it needed to be for you to admit that they were as embarrassing and as uncompetitive as possible, especially on offense against Georgia? And why is there 0 penalty for that? 0 penalty. They didn't move at all.
Well, you can't say it's cupcake compared to Bama, though. It's the SEC schedule just in general is probably going to look on the surface more difficult because in your brain, you think Tennessee and Missouri are tough teams.
But Bama lost 3 games. If Notre Dame and Alabama both have 2 losses, there's 0 debate. There's 0 debate. Right? There's 0 debate. Alabama is at 10,000% in. 10,000% in Alabama if they both have 2 losses, right?
Yeah.
But they don't.
Yeah. I mean, look, we cannot overstate this, guys. We cannot overstate this. A win over Boise State being compared to a win at Georgia. Show me anything that compares to a loss at Florida State, please. Please.
An uncompetitive loss at Florida State. Not not a fluky, like, oh shit, they ran some type of miracle play or terrible call fucked us.
Come on, man. We're not saying that, dude. We're not saying that. We literally fucking said, just be competitive. They weren't. It couldn't have been worse.
Oh, I am kind of saying it because what's the point? If you can play in your conference championship game and you get your doors blown off and there's 0 penalty, why play?
Oh, well, that's a different conversation. I have said that the conference championship games are pointless. I put a tweet out there.
And then why is BYU getting so fucked then? All these Bama slurpers here in the chat, then please tell me why is BYU fucked? Because BYU, unlike Alabama, they showed up for a quarter. Did they not?
Mm-hmm.
They showed up for at least 1 quarter. Bama didn't show up for a quarter.
I think they won the quarter.
Yeah.
I think it was 7-3.
So then basically all these Bama slurpers, they are all saying BYU should be in, right? Is there a single Bama slurper that is saying BYU should not be in? Because if so, your logic makes no sense.
Right. ND lost bad Clemson in 2020 ACC championship. Did you have this energy back then, DGen? I can tell you right now, I did not think Notre Dame was as good of a team 5 years ago as they are now. So I was a Notre Dame fan that didn't even want to make the 14 playoff because I knew we would get our ass kicked. So Drew can attest to that. So the answer to your question is probably yes. This guy's Timo Steak is hilarious. Notre Dame fucked up playing Miami. Yes, I already talked about that. Yep. If 3 losses is okay, wouldn't that bring Texas?
Absolutely it would. Absolutely it would. I mean, Texas has probably a better resume than Alabama does, right?
Yeah, BYU lost bad to Texas Tech. Bama at least won on the road in Georgia. That is fair.
Right, but BYU has 2 losses. Bama has 3.
Correct. Yep. Also,
so everyone in the chat keeps forgetting the loss total is different. People, how do we not understand that? If it was equal, then sure, Bama, no debate, no fiery debate here. But it's not equal. They have 3 losses. Hello, there's no other team in the fucking playoff with 3 losses, is there?
This is a great point. Florida loss is better than FSU loss.
Absolutely.
I mean, not even close.
Yeah.
Like, not even fucking close.
Well, we just saw what Florida did to FSU, right?
Nobody is talking about Alabama losing to Florida State, and it's blowing my fucking mind. Not one person. This guy on the fucking committee, what's his name? Hunter some shit. By the way, he's the athletic director at Arkansas. I posted a tweet from Reddit that I saw. In his 8 years there at Arkansas, their record is like 31-61 or something. And
they've just given up on football. They're all in on basketball.
They're terrible. So this is the guy that's running the ship. That's fucking great. Anyways, well, Drew, we can pivot a little bit, and then we're going to talk some NFL. I think this has been great, though. So far, you're getting great feedback. Hype train started, by the way. Quick shout out to Alex for the sub bank, Kevin D, Waka, Budman, and that's about it. Yep, thanks for the subs, appreciate it. And by the way, remember, we can all keep it civil if you guys have a difference in opinion. We don't have to hate each other, but I just do want to make it clear. If you are defending Alabama being in the playoff, you are also going against the opinions of former players, Mark Ingram and Damian Harris, which sounds kind of fucking crazy. Bet it goes 16 after this year. Yeah, Drew, what do you think? What do you think they do? What's the solution? They got to do something.
I tell you what, man, they took the toothpaste out of the tube, and college football is in big trouble right now. They're in big trouble. And what Notre Dame did is, I think you're going to start seeing that more and more. And man, I bet college football, whoever runs it, I don't even know who runs the fucking sport. They are probably wishing they kept this at 4 teams. Because honestly, right now, if it was a 4-team tournament, it'd be fantastic.
It'd be great.
It'd be fantastic. Yep. And, there wouldn't be all this bitching and moaning. And then you could still say, the Orange Bowl still kind of means something because it's like the 5th best team playing the 8th best team. But now, I tell you what, man, they're in deep trouble because this shit is going to happen every single year. And the only solution I see is you got to double it. You got to go to 24 teams and just completely get rid of bowl games. Yeah. Just get rid of bowl games and have that group of 5 tournament. That's what I would do is okay, so right now I think 80 teams play postseason football, which is way too fucking many. It's way too many. Right? Let's have 50 teams play postseason football. How about that? Is 50 fair? There's 120 programs. If you're one of the top 50 teams, you get to play in the postseason. Let's have a 24-team real, playoff, 24-team real playoff, and then maybe have a group of 5 playoff with 16 teams or something like that. Or 24 teams there too, where it's a mixture of all the best group of 5 teams and a few of the power 4 teams that want to compete in that. That's the only thing I can think of because these bowl games, they've been getting meaningless over the years, but now they're just a complete fucking joke. I mean, I saw it last year as a Hurricane fan in the Hurricanes, as you remember, they just barely missed getting in last year. Then they had to play in the fucking Pop-Tart Bowl against Iowa State. That shit was embarrassing. Honestly, they literally had a Pop-Tart in the middle of the field, celebrating touchdowns. Shit's embarrassing. Why would you want to go to that if you're on the verge of being a playoff team?
Can we address if Notre Dame passing on a bowl is a bitch move? Yes, I think that's a perfect segue, Drew. And again, you are not a Notre Dame defender. I want you to try to play both sides here, but you and I agree, and we've agreed for a long time. These bowl games are fucking stupid, and they're getting worse and worse and worse and more meaningless. You've got opt-outs. You talked about that Pop-Tart Bowl with Miami and Iowa State. Remember, Cam Ward played a half. He got a touchdown record, and then he didn't play, and people were like, you quit on your team.
How could you opt out of the Pop-Tart Bowl? The integrity of winning Pop-Tarts. Are you kidding me? You should put your number 1 draft pick on the line to win a game in a half-empty Citrus Bowl after Christmas. The fuck are you guys talking about?
I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe Cam Ward. People were actually tweeting Cam Ward, his character should be questioned and blah, 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 blah. But I will say this. I like Pop-Tarts. I like the bowl games in Orlando. And people keep saying, DJ, stop with the Pop-Tart Bowl slander. Yeah, I know. The Pop-Tart Bowl is actually kind of fun. But at the end of the day, it's meaningless, especially with this 12-team playoff. So Notre Dame elects to not take a bowl bid. I am a petty motherfucker. I think Notre Dame got fucked. And somebody said it. They kind of got strung along this entire time.
They did. They did.
And I think that people are downplaying the significance of that. If Notre Dame was on the outside looking in from the start, and it was always Miami ahead of Notre Dame because of that head-to-head win, then you're probably not getting in because BYU and Alabama. So be it. So be it. I don't think this happens. But they put them in for some fucking reason ahead of Miami for weeks. And just kind of
every single ranking for 5 weeks, they're ahead of Miami, and then the teams don't play, and then Miami jumps them. It made zero sense at all. It makes zero sense at all. It's all just to protect Alabama.
It's to protect Alabama. But here's my question. So Notre Dame gets fucked. They get out, and Notre Dame says, okay, we got fucked. Fuck you. We're not going to play. And ESPN has a deal with the SEC from what I've now learned. And this is more of a we don't want you guys to make $50 million off of us. And also people keep not realizing the fact that the team decided this. People keep saying, oh my God, the seniors.
Yeah, how could you do that to the seniors? Yeah, I guarantee you, if the seniors said we're banging their hand on the table, I want to go to Orlando and win a Pop-Tart Bowl, they'd probably be going, right? They'd probably be going. But also, too, these bowl games don't mean shit anymore, guys, because keep in mind, the players are getting paid, right? They're all getting NIL money. So if these fuckers in their offseason, they want to take a trip to Orlando, they want to take a trip to the Bahamas, they got fucking money to do it. They don't need the school to book them a trip to stay at the Waldorf about near the theme parks. They don't need that. They got their own money, right? So, I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. I'm open to the chat suggestion. What is the solution ongoing for postseason if you're not a playoff team? What does the chat think about a group of 5 playoff? What do you do? What do you do?
Chat never brings any solutions. They just bring problems. I haven't seen Hank Powell respond at all. I think he just kind of ran away, and that's fine. Hank Opal as well. Portal period makes it worthless to play the games. Yep. College football is overrated as fuck. I don't care if I'm on an island with that take. It's definitely getting worse and worse. The sport is
that, and then also all the coaches are gone. They say at least half of the coaches. This is for the teams in the playoffs. At least half of the teams in the playoff, they're going to be missing significant parts of their coaching staff, meaning offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head coach. It's insane. What other sport? There's literally not another sport on the planet where you're playing your most important games of the season is when your team's most separated. Because this shit of like, oh, you know what, the offensive coordinator staying behind, he's going to call a plays for us. Not really, man. He's focused on building his staff and moving on. I mean, I'm a little concerned if you're Oregon, your defensive and offensive coordinator is gone. They're supposedly sticking around, but I mean, how much time are they really putting into it? So it shit's crazy.
Starters will opt out of the bowl game. Now you play backups who, if they have a good game, teams will have NIL check waiting for them. Yeah, exactly. It makes no sense. And listen, I posted this video yesterday. It's about 4 minutes long. Some people were nice that criticized it because they just thought I was complaining. And one guy even said, it was 4 minutes. I didn't watch the video. I said, please watch the video. But I think a lot of people are finally realizing like, wow, this is what I needed to hear, because the bigger topic of conversation here is not, is Notre Dame being a bitch? It's these bowls mean nothing. And now more than ever, when you have a 12-team playoff, and if you are Notre Dame and you're a top 12 team. You are a top 12 team. They are objectively a top 12 team. And they're not in because of these stupid fucking rules so that James Madison and Tulane can get in. Alabama, I don't even care what you have to say. Can you imagine being Notre Dame and thinking that you can play in the playoff after you just did it last year? You ran through, you won 3 games. In the first fucking 12-team playoff, you beat Indiana, you beat fucking Penn State, you beat Georgia, all legitimate opponents to play Ohio State, and now you're strung along, and then they say, nope, never mind, you're going to go play. Fuck you.
And then also too, you're put in an impossible situation because you're playing the Pop-Tart Bowl. You don't give a fuck. So if you beat the shit out of the team, who cares? And then if you lose, it's embarrassing. Because last year was embarrassing for Miami because they didn't give a fuck, and sure enough, they fucking lost the Pop-Tart Bowl. So why would you want to put yourself in that position? Why? What's the point? Because if Miami got fucked, like everybody expected them to get fucked, I would not want to see Miami play in the Pop-Tart Bowl again. I would not. I would hope that they would have opted out, because why would you want to do that again? Why?
And I say this too, again, not being a Notre Dame homer, defender, or slurper, but if Miami got fucked, I would have been totally fine. I would have defended Miami. I wouldn't have called them crybabies or bitches. There is no point. If you are a team that has a legitimate reason, and I'm not talking BYU, I'm not talking Vanderbilt, I'm talking Miami and Notre Dame. If you're out, What do you need? What do you need to play a fucking bowl game for? It's stupid and it's meaningless. Hank, listen. Once again, you guys are trying to penalize Alabama for making their conference championship game. No, you keep missing something that's really important.
He didn't answer our question. My question at least to Hank was, then what? How do you get a penalty then? Because there has to be some penalty. What do you need the score to be? Do you need to lose by 50, 100, 300? Please tell us, Hank. Then is there any penalty you can have? Because BYU got penalized, did they not?
Yeah, they got penalized. Yeah, they did. They got penalized. We are penalizing Alabama not for making their conference championship game. We are penalizing Alabama for getting their fucking dick kicked in. And if you tell me Bama didn't get destroyed on the national stage of the SEC championship game, you didn't watch the game.
And I can tell you that they set Bama up for this because they moved up for beating Auburn, while Vanderbilt actually moved down after beating Tennessee. How does that make any sense? Because I know we just shit all over Tennessee, but Tennessee is certainly no worse than Auburn, right?
Tennessee is no worse than Auburn. No.
Yeah, right. And Vanderbilt beat Auburn by double digits, I believe, and they somehow moved down in the poll, yet Bama moved up in the polls for beating Auburn because Iron Bowl means more.
Yeah. Did BYU get penalized if they weren't in before that game either? They had -3 rushing yards. Everyone could be penalized except Bama for they are the grace by the land.
There you go. Best comment of the day.
I'm sure I'm on an island, but the difference is Bama fully healthy went to Athens and won. So Bama wasn't fully healthy. Oh, they were missing Jam Miller, their running back. Maybe they.
I mean, that is football, though, right?
Yep.
Then if we're doing fully healthy, then why did FSU get fucked a few years ago?
Yep, that's a great point.
Why did they get fucked? Tell me.
All right, this has been pretty good. Chat, any other questions? Then we're going to run through and recap the NFL slate yesterday. Any other questions, college football wise, for the landscape and everything like that? Vandy beat Tennessee by 21 on the road, and Bama beat Tennessee by 17 at home.
I'm not necessarily saying Vandy should have been in over Bama. I'm not saying that. I'm not going that far, but it's still crazy that Vandy dropped in the polls for beating Tennessee by double digits while Bama moved up. That made no sense to me. But to be clear, I don't think Vandy should be in over Bama. No.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that somebody said it, or you said it, the 14 playoff probably would be great and solve a lot of problems. It would have been
awesome this year because you clearly have the 4 best teams this year. It's yeah.
I was going to say one thing. There would be a huge case for an 8 team because think about it this way. The top 4 teams are the top 4 teams, like hands down. Ohio State, fucking Indiana, like Georgia looks awesome. These are the top 4 teams that are in there. But Ole Miss looks really good. Oregon, I know they seem a little phony, but they also can look pretty good. Like, I'm curious to see how these teams can play.
Those teams have got a lot more questions though than the top 4.
For sure.
Because again, Oregon, both coordinators are gone. Ole Miss, disarray coaching staff. This would have been a perfect year to have a 14 playoff, honestly.
Oh, you didn't answer the question. Is it a bitch move for Notre Dame to skip the bowl game?
Absolutely not. Because if I was a Miami fan, one thing I wanted to ask you how shocking it was with the betting markets getting this completely wrong. Yeah. If this was Miami, and we're having this conversation today, and it was Miami who got fucked, which is what everybody thought it was going to be, there is 0% chance I would want to go watch Miami play in the Pop-Tart Bowl again. 0% chance. What's the fucking point? Because I can tell you right now, people are like, oh, you get the extra reps and you get this. What the fuck did Miami get out of playing the Pop-Tart Bowl last year? What did they get out of it? Nothing.
You have like an entirely new team most of the time anyway.
Exactly. Especially now with the portal. Yeah. Like maybe like pre-portal, you can make the case like, oh yeah, we want to develop our guys, but your roster turns over like 50%. So like, what are we even talking about?
It's just and I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but sometimes you have to, I just think people, when something happens, they don't think about both sides of things. They just take like the first easy, obvious, low-hanging fruit. And Notre Dame not playing a bowl is like, oh my God, why would they not play a bowl game? Everybody plays bowl games. And it's like, hold on a second. Stop with the fucking, oh my God, the extra reps and the experiences for the seniors. Oh my God.
I will say this on the flip side though, like if you expand the playoff to 18 or 24, I feel like something has to be developed, whether it's a group of 5 playoff, something for those teams, those Iowas, those Illinois, those Pittsburghs, because those teams are probably never winning national titles. And I do want there to be something there for them. So whether that they participate in a group of 5 playoff or something along those lines. I don't want to be a complete Grinch and just say, if you don't make the playoff, then go home, like something for those teams,
Very, very well said. And that's what I said in my video too. I'm like, going to these bowl games matters if you're in Iowa State or if you're a Wisconsin or a Rutgers. Like that's cool. And plus, like, your fans, you can get out of fucking Lincoln, Nebraska, like all that shit is cool. I will say this too. I like Vanderbilt and BYU are not winning a national championship. I think those would be great bowl games. Like that would be a great matchup. Like Texas playing a bowl game is cool. I think Michigan being their opponent is hilarious. Like I think Texas is going to kill Michigan. Michigan is really bad, but we'll talk about that another time. Thank you, Jesus. We want our backups to get PT.
And by the way, for everyone saying bowl games, what happened to Bama in their bowl game last year? They got their shit pushed in by Michigan, right?
Right. I think
so. I mean, just goes to show you, like, what do these bowl games matter? They lost to a dog shit Michigan team in a bowl game last year. So please, enough of the bowl games, people.
Well, no, the other team shut up and go play, but not Notre Dame. It's no, we just said Miami could not play either. It doesn't matter. Kansas State is opting out to play. Baylor's opting out. Who cares? Don't fucking play if you don't want to play. I don't care. We're talking about the smaller teams where it actually matters, where you thrive to win 6 games. So you get that bowl.
Well, so many teams have opted out of bowls. They've been asking 5 and 7 teams to play bowl games. And a lot of the 5 and 7 teams are denying the bowl games because they don't have a roster. Like FSU got asked to play a bowl game. They're 5 and 7. They're like, we literally don't have enough players.
Thank you. It's about developing young players.
Oh my God, guys, see, but the other thing in their defense, change is hard. Change is fucking hard. It really is. And if you grew up and it's always been this way, I get it. But guys, college football is completely changed with the portal, with NIL money. It's a completely different sport. It's not even the same sport it was 5 years ago. So I'm sorry, guys, but it's a completely different sport now.
You're also developing young players who probably won't even be on your team next year. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's crazy.
And those young players, they're probably going to jump in the portal and go somewhere where they can play more anyways, if you're a backup.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Great hour college football talk. That was awesome. Let's take a quick break. I got to take a piss at 2.5 cups of coffee. And then we're going to run through and recap the NFL board. We have some stuff to talk about. Guys, don't go anywhere. Thank you for tuning in. We will be right back after these words. Just kidding. We don't have a sponsor. Where is it? There we go. Check. All right, we're back. Hold on. Let me get this off. And see.
It's great music. It's very, it's very good music.
Thank you. A lot of people like it. It's I went on a website called Soundstripe, but you pay like $20 a month and you can just browse like copyright free music. And the first one people didn't really like as much. What was it again? Hold on. I think it was
yeah, that's not as versatile.
Yeah.
That's not as versatile. Like, you got to be a certain mood to listen to that. The other one's like it kind of blends with any situation.
Yeah, it does good. Jesus is asking, is Drew on Twitter? Yeah, I'll get you his profile. I wish he was more active, but maybe he will be.
I'll get more active.
Yeah. No, Drew's like I said, Drew's a ball knower, and I've known the guy for 25 years, maybe 25 years.
I think longer, actually.
Long. Here is your last retweet is the Canes are playoff brown with coked out Michael Irvin. Yeah, Mike Irvin seems like a fun guy.
What blows my mind about Michael Irvin with everything he's done in his life is how good he looks. He's like 60 years old. The guy looks amazing.
That's crazy.
A lifetime of doing God knows what, and the guy still looks amazing. So God bless him.
All right, Drew, let's talk the games yesterday in the NFL. So, by the way, if anybody cares, Drew is a Jets fan when we talk about that game, but not an unrealistic one. He used to be kind of annoying back in the day. He's much better now, but we watched the games together. We had a good time at the Friendly Confines, which is a Chicago bar. I didn't stay for it though. But let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let's talk about my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I have said this about you. You may or may not even know this, but when we talk about our NFL offseason previews, I have said for the past couple of years, you always have a pretty good read on the Bucs, and you always have a team that you kind of pick that's a little bit of a sleeper. You did it with the Seahawks a couple years ago with Pete Carroll and Geno. They had a 5.5 win total. I think they made the playoffs. Broncos last year. And the Bucs, you did it 1 year with the Bucs too. I think year one of Baker.
Yeah, year one of Baker. Yeah.
You've got a really good read on this Bucs team, and it seems like I know you're a Jets fan, but you like the Bucs. Like you have a soft.
Oh yeah. I mean, the Jets have been such a disgrace. I mean, 15 straight losing seasons, whatever it is. I mean, you kind of have to find something else to follow. I live in Florida. I love the Rays, so yeah, I've kind of adopted the Bucs as my second team just because the Jets are just they're hard to even watch for more than 5 minutes, and the Bucs have been very, very fun until recently.
Yeah, this season started out very well. They were 6-2, I believe, and then things have gotten really bumpy. They've had a really, really tough stretch.
Kind of similar to other years, but this year feels different.
It does feel different, and it's concerning. There have been a little bit more injuries, but I always try to do a good job about not everybody's injured, not using injuries as an excuse. Baker seems a little bit off. The play calling is not there. There were some really, really, really frustrating moments in that game yesterday that the Bucs had to win, and they did not. They lost against the Saints. They were 8.5 point favorites. Some money came in on
7.5. Went it down to 7.5 once Tristan Wirfs was declared out, which I didn't even know he was injured.
Yeah, I didn't either. Big loss. Another offensive lineman got hurt. But they're 7-6 now. The Saints 3-10. The Saints always talked about this. They always play the Bucs scrappy on the road. Tampa usually whoops their ass in New Orleans. Tyler Shook looked really good. Baker did not, and it's frustrating. So, what is your take on this Bucs team right now at 7-6?
They got no chance unless Mike Evans comes back and is healthy. Because to me, Mike Evans is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Since he got injured in that game against the Texans, forget even
the Lions.
Was it against the Lions?
Well, the Lions is when he broke his collar. I think he broke his collarbone.
For some reason, I thought it was against the Texans, but regardless, you're probably right. You're the Bucs fan. But anyways, they just have not been the same team. They're just not the same team. And then I know he's supposedly pushing to play, but like, how healthy is this guy? But I mean, the Bucs, they're not a contender. Maybe they find a way to squeak and win that shitty division again, but they'll be one and done. They're leaking oil everywhere. Yeah. Just everything's out of sync, man. The defense can never get a stop when it matters, and the offense is so inconsistent without Mike Evans in the lineup. Chris Godwin is not performing like he did in the past. Like you mentioned, Baker had MVP talk, but he's played like shit the past few weeks. And Todd Bowles, you don't want to read too much into a halftime interview, but when I watched his halftime interview yesterday, he's just like, oh, it's backyard football and it's going to be anybody's game. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, it's raining, okay? You live in Florida. You're playing a dome team. Just because it's raining, that's not an excuse for you to lose to the Saints. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was. I didn't like his interview either. We were watching it together, and I was like, "Oh man, I want to be a Bulls defender. I have been a Bulls defender. I think he's done a pretty good job with this team. I like his offseason clips of the year, even after Tom Brady. It was kind of like next man up. He was fired up. He looked like fun. He's getting a bit of a personality. This is a problem because the one thing Bulls can do defensively, his pass defense is horrible. His run defense is really good. They are letting guys run like crazy on that.
Oh yeah, they got ran over yesterday. The only thing I will say, and when looking at the game, once getting away from it this morning, in the moment, I didn't feel this way, so this is totally Monday morning quarterback. But considering the conditions and everything like that, the Bucs went for it way too many times.
Yep.
Went for it
Yep.
way too many times because they don't have a good enough defense
Nope.
to keep putting the ball at the 50-yard line. You're
Mhm.
going to get fucked. And with that type of game and the conditions and whatnot, if they just punted and they kept putting the Saints inside their own 10, the Saints probably make a mistake, or then the Saints are then punting within their 5-yard line. The Bucs get a good return, and then they're already in field goal range. Because I think the Bucs went for it on fourth down like 6 times yesterday.
They were 2 for 6. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot.
they had 4 turnovers on downs.
Yeah, correct.
And 1 Baker pick. So they essentially had 5 turnovers. There was 5 instances of giving the Saints the ball at midfield.
And that Baker pick was awful. I don't know if people remember this, but it was 1st and 10. There was a 9-yard run. It was 2nd and 1, and they went in shotgun. And he throws the ball to fucking undrafted rookie
7th rounder. Yeah, 7th
rounder. Sorry, 7th rounder.
And that was and that was the first drive of the second half. It's like if the Bucs go down the field, they get a touchdown, that game probably plays out differently. Probably completely plays out differently. And then some of the guys on the Bucs are pissing me off. Guys who have been there for a while. Kate Otten, get him the fuck out of here. The guy never makes a play. He can't break a tackle. Every single time he catches the ball, he immediately goes down. This is like, dude, you're a big guy. You're a big, muscular man. Break a fucking tackle, bro. I'm not saying like, get a touchdown, but like, okay, turn an 8-yard catch into a 12-yard catch. That's what a tight end's supposed to do, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And TM Sharp in the chat says Baker's carelessness is a problem now. It is. He threw a really, really bad interception back when they played the Eagles. I don't know if you remember this game. The Bucs went down quick. They were fighting back. Baker had an awful turnover on like first down in the red zone. You can have those be excused when you play much better than not. Baker's not really making good plays. He's just not. And when he does, the receivers are not making catches. They finally called the perfect fucking play. They had that fake out route go for Igbuka. Baker maybe put it a little high, but Igbuka had to catch it.
Oh, yeah. 98% of NFL receivers catch it. 98%. I mean, 98% of college receivers catch it. I mean, nothing is going right. And I hate to say it, but me and you, to give us shit, we're looking like we are dead wrong, you and I. Because in the offseason, we were texting each other, because lots of Bucs fans here locally, I listened to some local radio, they were all bitching. They were going nuts, and we were both against them saying, fuck Bowles, get him out of here, make Liam Cohen the head coach right now. And we both were like, no, that's too premature. Liam's not ready. And boy, you know what? Because we're talking a lot of shit. We need to eat some shit right now. We were wrong. They should have told Todd, you know what? Thank you for everything. You want a front office job? If not, there's the door, buddy, because we're moving on. We're giving this guy the reins. Because, man, I mean, things are rolling in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. And I'm glad you brought it up because we hold ourselves accountable on here. We're transparent and we do have to eat some shit because when we're right, we like to be right. But yeah, I forgot all about that. And Bowles, when he came out in that halftime press conference, he did something that I don't like, and I do like what I'm seeing from Liam Cohen. You've watched some Liam Cohen and Jags football.
He's fired up.
He's fired up and he gets pissed off. When Trevor Lawrence makes a mistake, he gets fucking pissed off. Todd Bowles coming out at halftime being like, it's back.
He's smiling. He was smiling. He legit had a smile on his face, like, it's bad conditions, backyard football. I was like, dude, wake the fuck up. Your season is collapsing. Your season is collapsing. Don't give us backyard football bullshit. You're playing a 2-10 dome team with a rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach. Go take care of business. It's not backyard football.
No, yeah, what's frustrating at times? I'm okay with like the guys in charge not panicking and not getting too emotional. I like some emotion, but when the energy of like the people in charge doesn't match the energy of a fan, it's kind of frustrating. Like we're at that bar watching. I'm a fan. You kind of like the Bucs. We're pissed. Like, I can't believe we're losing to the fucking Saints in the first half at home, reigning dome team. It should benefit us. And when he came out there smiling like everything was cool, I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. But and like I said, it'd be one thing if the Bucs were, they had 10 wins and whatever. You drop a game to the Saints, who gives a fuck, right? Kind of,
Yeah.
But this game has huge implications for the Bucs, so you can't be ho-hum about it. And I hate to say it because I'm a Bucs guy. I'm kind of over the Bucs. I think I'd rather see the Panthers in the playoffs just to see somebody different this year.
Fair, very fair. All right, the Seahawks and Falcons. We don't have to spend too much time on this or any of the games that suck, but we do like to touch on all of them. Seahawks 37, Falcons 9. I had the over in this game, which was a sweat. Thanks to Seattle for coming through. I did like the Falcons in this spot. I will admit that. Did not end up playing them. They were, I'd say I had about 3 or 4 games considered in my best bet. This was one of them though, hand up. And I just want to point out real quick. I don't know why my tab's not loading. Kirk Cousins, once again, 18 QBR, 15 of 30, 162 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions.
It is beyond insane he's playing. Why would you play him? I don't even know who their backup is, but just play a kid. You just lost to the fucking Jets. You have nothing to play for. Why would you play a 40-year-old washed-up quarterback when your season's over? At least get a kid in there. Maybe it's somebody you could develop. Probably not, but at least, it's something.
Who do they? I don't even know who they have.
Felipe Franks, somebody. I mean, there are a lot of bad teams in the NFL, right? We don't have to go through every single one of them. There's a lot of bad teams. I can't think of a team that's in a really worse situation than the Falcons. They have no identity. They're paying quarterbacks tons of money who aren't going to be there anymore. Their first rounder he just tore his ACL for the 3rd time. Raheem Morris is going to get fired. I mean, their owner's like 100 years old. I can't think of a worse situation, honestly.
No, that's a really good point. Yeah, it's tough times in Atlanta, and I'm a big anti-Falcons guy. I had a nice rant against them for being phony and frauds. You weren't in here, but we have a group of guys, all of which I like that were.
I think the Bucs play the Falcons Thursday, don't they?
I don't even do they?
I think so.
I might have to go to that game.
No, I think it's in Atlanta.
Oh, then never mind. But they were like, everybody was like, "Oh, what number do you have for the Falcons Super Bowl?" I got 40-1. I got 30-1. I'm like, well, you guys shut the fuck up. The Falcons are terrible.
I'm wrong. It's not in Atlanta because week 1 they played at Atlanta, so I'm wrong.
No first round pick for 2 years, no quarterback. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Colts situation. All right, we'll talk about that in a second. Franchise setback for a decade. RIP Cam is money. He's a Colts fan. Real quick, fun game. I don't know what you thought about this game before it kicked off, but Bengals Bills. I'm
disappointed in the Bengals. I'm disappointed in the Bengals, to be honest.
Yeah. Bengals were 5.5, 6-point underdogs. They covered the spread 39-34. Burrow had a nice game, 4 touchdowns, 284. James Cook had 80 yards rushing. Dawson Knox had a big game. Josh Allen was great. 96 QBR. You don't see that very often. 22 of 28, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and 78 yards on the ground. You said it at the bar, and you were right. Whenever the Bengals went up, I was like, how do you feel about the Bills? Do you still hate them? You were like, fuck the Bills. I'm so sick of the Bills. This has to piss you off a little bit.
It does. And while I do say fuck the Bills and whatnot, the AFC is so wide open. This could finally be their year. They just annoy me because they've had so many opportunities to break through. Right. And I feel like the storyline of the underdog city, I've just heard it for, 5+ years now. I'm just tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about the fans, the drunk fans going through the tables. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of looking at Sean McDermott's stupid face, looking confused, listening to the Chiefs every year. Now he's wearing glasses. He looks like he's 10 years older. I'm tired of the Bills. But again, the AFC is such dog shit. This might be actually their year. It might actually be their year. And then the Bengals, what a missed opportunity. Why did they not fire their coach a month ago? If they fired their coach a month ago, maybe the season turns around. What a missed opportunity because they're in such a shitty division.
Yeah, I'm not a Zach Taylor guy. I thought maybe Al Golden was getting a little bit better with that defense, but it turns out that that's not the case because the Bills had their fucking way with them after in 21 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, look, this is really impressive. A field goal in the first, 8 in the second, 7 in the third. You take that against Buffalo on the road, and then just total collapse. Total collapse. Yeah. Oh, but Burrow had a pick 6. He did have a pick 6, and he had another bad interception. So let's give Al Golden a little bit more breathing room. But that's a really good point, though. The AFC is wide open. We talked about it. We're like, who do you trust in the AFC? Maybe it is the Bills' year, and nobody's really talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, you can make it the case for them over anybody, I would say.
Titans and Browns will make this one super quick, but
I did not realize how did the Titans win that game because Cam Ward threw for 100 yards.
Cam Ward always throws for 100 yards, Drew. One of my worst takes maybe ever was backing Cam Ward on his passing yards this going into this season. However, Titans' best bet comes through. Why did it come through? Because, ladies and gentlemen, when you have a team like the Browns and a quarterback like Shedeur Sanders, you don't bet them as a favorite. You don't bet them as a favorite.
But Shedeur played well.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You don't bet the Browns as a favorite when they're in a situation like this. You just don't do it. Titans 31-29. Shedeur played very well. He played well. 23 of 42, 364 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had 29 rushing yards as well and a touchdown run.
I didn't see it, but I heard he wasn't on the field for
He wasn't.
a conversion. That's insane.
Wildcat.
What the fuck is Kevin Stefanski? How's he employed? Get him the fuck out of here.
Drew, he's won Coach of the Year twice.
Get him the fuck out of here. Get him out of here. He needs to be gone yesterday. Him and the other dope in Ohio, they both should be gone. They both lost to the fucking Jets. Both the Ohio teams lost to the Jets. If that's not a fireable offense, what is? What is?
I agree. Fun fact: I bet Zach Taylor would be the first coach fired the year the Bengals went to the Super Bowl. Never forget. I will say this though: do you think? Let's just think outside the box here. Kind of a brilliant move losing that game.
I guess, but like, who are you this fired up to take in this draft as a quarterback?
I don't know.
I mean, did you see Fernando's interview after the game? Sweetest kid in the world, but like, can you imagine him playing for the Jets? He would get killed.
No.
Imagine him dealing with New York media.
No.
They wouldn't go well. And can you imagine him playing in the Cleveland cold? I don't know, man. I don't know. And also, Shedeur Sanders, just fucking start him next year. Just sign a backup, sign Jacoby Brissett, and roll with Shedeur Sanders next year. That's what I do if I'm the Browns.
Don't hate it. Don't hate it. Uncle Steak has some family things to take care of. All is good, nothing bad, but just some things to do. He will be back tomorrow. Shout out Drew for filling in. Let's keep moving through the NFL board. Vikings and Commanders. Vikings 31-0. What a disaster of a season for the Washington Commanders. McCarthy 16 of 23, 163, 3 touchdowns. I did say it was the Vikings. I'll have to clip that with Steak back on our NFL review. It was actually quite funny. I kept saying
what was
they were
the line of that game? I did not even realize Jayden Daniels played.
The Vikings were -2, then it flipped to Commanders -1 when Jayden Daniels played. And we were talking about it. Steak kept saying it. Why the fuck is Jayden Daniels playing this football game? Why is he playing this football game?
They're a disaster, Commanders. Exactly. I mean, another team you can add to the list of teams that are just in complete disarray. And good for J.J. McCarthy because he's been getting shit on, deservedly so. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to see the kid's career to already be over. I don't want to see him already turn into Zach Wilson. So, listen, I hope J.J. McCarthy plays well this last month of the season. The Vikings are one of those teams where you don't want to just collapse and play for a draft pick. You need to see J.J. McCarthy develop. So, good for Steak. Vikings and JJ McCarthy hopefully getting a little momentum moving forward.
Yep, I'm good with it. And also something to keep in mind, I talked about this, that Vikings defense is still playing really well. So it might be something to keep an eye on here if they don't necessarily give up. I'm not saying they're going to go out there and, make the playoffs or anything. I hope they don't because I bet them not to. But something to keep in mind in the betting market. All right, Drew, your New York Jets against the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are now 6-7. Jets fall to 3-10. I kind of nailed this on Prop Talk. We all said it was the Jets, but I did say, I was like, guys, the Jets have been in the same exact spot for the third time now in a row at home. 2.5-point dogs against the Browns, 2.5-point dogs against the Falcons. They came through. They were sharp. We're doing it again. Oh, Tua in the cold. The Dolphins this, whatever.
Tua was terrible.
Tua was terrible, but Tua is terrible. But we got greedy.
I was surprised. This game surprised me. Not that the Jets lost, but the game was over in 5 minutes. I mean, just a complete no-show by the Jets. And, hey, you know what? Props to Mike McDaniels because another guy, everybody, myself included, completely shit on. He completely changed his offensive philosophy in the middle of the year. He realized his quarterback is shell-shocked. He's not himself anymore. They went from a pass-happy, soft team to now with all these, running zone schemes. And, I mean, offensive line's playing out of their mind. They're becoming a defensive football team. And, shit, they may end up getting the last wild card.
I kind of hope they do.
They got a big game against the Steelers this week. If they beat the Steelers, look out. They may be the last team in.
I would rather see them than the Steelers. You did have Brady Cook playing, but let's not act like the Dolphins didn't score 21 points at the blink of an eye.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if Tyrod Taylor played the whole game, you think the score would have been that much different? I mean, no. What was the score? Instead of losing by 24, they lose by 17? I mean, come on.
Or 10. 34-24 sounds about right. Speaking of two in the cold, weird Pittsburgh is only 3.5-point faves next week in Miami Monday Night Football. We'll talk about that later in the week. By the way, Jalen Wright, never see this guy do anything. 24 carries, 107 yards. I think Achane got hurt, but good for him for showing up. All right, Drew. Let's talk about the Indianapolis Colts. We do have a guy in here, a fellow DGen favorite, Cam His Money, who's a Colts fan here, and he pointed out as you were talking about the Browns being Falcons being a disaster. The Colts are in big trouble.
I mean, wow! As a Jet fan, I'm loving it because we have their first round draft pick next year.
Yep.
And that pick, it went from being like, oh, that's probably going to be like the 28th, 29th pick. Holy shit, this may end up being like the 16th pick in the draft. I mean, it's insane the collapse. Since they made the Sauce Gardner trade, everything has just collapsed. Everything has collapsed. I mean, I didn't see it coming. And then you hate to see what happened to Daniel Jones, regardless if you like the Colts or not. You hate to see a guy who's going to get an enormous payday. And now is it official that he tore his Achilles?
I didn't see it. I'd be hard pressed to think he didn't.
Yeah. I mean, it's heartbreaking, honestly, that happened to him. And you can't even make it up that their top 5 backup quarterback pick literally got injured in warmups and is still out. I mean, it's just such a fucking joke.
The Anthony Richardson situation is absolutely bizarre. And look, I mean, Riley Leonard's a nice kid. He's not an NFL quarterback, but he played better than Tua.
Yeah.
18 of 29, 145, no touchdowns and an interception. Oh, I'm sorry. He had a rushing touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, 21 carries, 74 yards, and a touchdown.
But good for Jacksonville. You know, Jacksonville, they played a lot of shitty teams. They barely won, but I feel like when you're Jacksonville, you got to learn how to win, right? And who cares if they, had to beat the Raiders on the last play of the game? Whatever. You're learning how to win.
Yeah.
You're the Jacksonville Jaguars. You're a rookie coach. And now they got all this momentum, all this conference going. So good for them.
Yeah, 9-4 is really impressive. And I've even said that about the Bears. I say, look, I don't think Caleb Williams is very good. We'll talk about it, but it's like they are learning how to win. Granted, they come from behind wins against the Raiders and the Bengals and these shit teams, but it doesn't matter. You're learning how to win. It doesn't. I'm okay with good teams winning ugly. I think the Bears are a good team. I still have kind of been iffy on Jacksonville, but you know what? Their defense is really turning it up since the bye week. Yeah. Josh Hines Allen, who I've been critical of.
They're going to win the division.
Texans look good.
I guess I don't know the tiebreaker between the two because I thought Jacksonville beat Houston, but I could be wrong.
Texans came back and beat them with Davis
Mills. Did. They came back with their backup quarterback. That's right. And Jacksonville was winning the whole game.
Correct. I know because I had the Jags as my best bet.
You're right. Okay.
But Trevor Lawrence, you don't see this very often. We are QBR guys on this show. 82 QBR for Trevor Lawrence. It's probably the highest I have ever seen him have. So good on him. All right, that I think is it for the 1 o'clock. No, there's one more game. Steelers and Ravens. Holy fucking shit. Snacks, if you're in here, any more Ravens fans in here? Steelers win this game 27-22. Just a vintage Aaron Rodgers performance. I'm sure you probably have heard that 10 times this morning. You've been listening to Sports Talk Radio, but holy fuck. 23 of 34, 62 QBR, 284, 1 touchdown. First time Aaron Rodgers has completed a pass over 20 yards, or the Steelers completed a pass over 20 yards, I think since like week 3 or some crazy stat like that. DK Metcalf, 7 catches for 148 yards. Golly. He had a 52-yard catch, no touchdowns. Jalen Warren got involved. Kenneth Gainwell got involved. But the story of this is not Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, because this was a Steelers spot. It really was. They always fucking do something when you count them out for dead. Mike Tomlin does not die. What the fuck is going on with Lamar Jackson? He is a brutal watch.
He has to be injured. That's the only explanation, is he has to be injured, right? I can't think of anything else besides him playing hurt. But
are we being too nice if we just think that he's like, is there? Well,
he's never looked this bad in his career, though. So if he's not injured, then is he just all of a sudden washed up at 29 years old? That doesn't really make much sense. Or is he just over this coaching staff? I don't really get it. I mean, if he's this hurt and playing this bad, they're better off playing Tyron Huntley. And also, too, if there's any Steeler fans in the chat, and I'd be curious to get Greg's opinion on this, is this result almost kind of disappointing? Because if they end up making the playoffs and lose in the first round again, they're probably going to bring Tomlin back. Like, wouldn't you rather just miss the playoffs and say, okay, we need to finally move on here? But, I don't know. If you're a Steeler fan, I almost feel like you want to kind of collapse at the end of the year so you could finally start over.
Yeah. I made a video. I clipped a rant that I had. Some people said it was pretty good, so I clipped it. It's funny. You never know what'll fall flat and what'll do well. I thought it was good. It got like 5 likes, but I talked about the Steelers being in constant purgatory, and it's annoying. It's annoying that like every offseason you talk about Mike Tomlin's got this winning streak. It's like, then you get in the season, you're like, oh my God, just suck or be really good. Please. This is torture if you're a fan, in my opinion. But
they're going to win the division again, right? Because the Bengals are done since they lost.
Yeah.
So they're going to win the division again. They're going to host a playoff game. They're going to get their ass kicked. And then what are we doing? We're running.
Well, what if they go? What if they play the Jags and they win or something?
I'd be surprised. Then I'll be wrong. I don't think that's happening.
What if they play the Chiefs?
I don't think the Chiefs are going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I'm just trying to think of teams that could like.
Well, I don't know. I'd just be curious if you're a Steeler fan. I feel like Steeler fans would rather kind of just collapse because at least from what I see online, it seems like they are ready to move on. But like you said, Tomlin just won't die. The guy just won't die.
No, he won't. Mike Tomlinson is the greatest winning loser of all time. Well said, Bookachu. Why is it Tomlinson? Is that a typo? Is that his real name? Should Harbaugh be on the hot seat?
Yeah, I think it's time to move on there. For both parties. I mean, he's been there forever. How many years has he been there? He's been there like 15 years, hasn't he?
Yeah.
It's like an Andy Reid situation with the Eagles. It's not that he's a bad coach or anything like that. It's just, sometimes a marriage just breaks up and it's not even like they did anything wrong. It's just like, fuck, like we've just become different people now,
Very, very well said. Very, very well said. Okay. A couple more games here in the 4:00 slate. Broncos and Raiders. I saw this was an absolutely insane backdoor.
I want to get your opinion on that because obviously that is all over gambling Twitter. I mean, one of the craziest things I've seen. And for it to happen in Las Vegas just adds fuel to the fire.
Well, I saw the play. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it thoroughly. I didn't have any investment on the guy. I take that back. I had RJ Harvey rushing yards and touchdown. He did score 5-0 in the 4 p.m. slate. Shout out, chat. I will say this. I do wonder sometimes if you are in that position for the Raiders and the game's lost, I think that delay of game penalty wasn't really, it was a weird call. But did you see the defender fall on the guy? Like it kind of was something.
But why would the ref call that with 4 seconds left of the game?
Well,
it's fucking weird because at best it's a borderline call. At best, if that's a regular part of the game, I wouldn't be screaming flag, would you?
No. But I saw it, I watched it back and I saw the defender, and you hear the commentator even say, why would he do that? Brandon Jones or Joseph, whatever. Why would he do that? It was really, really weird. It was just weird. And I don't have an issue with the ref calling
Why
it.
did Pete Carroll kick a field goal? Why wouldn't he throw the ball in the end zone?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. He's not the only guy to do this. Do you remember a long time ago, the Rams kicked a field goal against the Niners or it was vice versa? I had the fucking Rams 7.5 and they covered the spread. They were down 10. They covered the spread. At the end of the day, here's what I'm wondering. If you're a coach and the game is done, Kentucky did this against Louisville too. Don't you just try to make it look a little bit respectable? What else can you do? You're going to throw a Hail Mary and that's it?
I don't even know if it would have been necessarily a Hail Mary because they had the ball at the 28. So you could have easily thrown the ball in the end zone. Kenny Pickett was in the game at the time. I mean, oh my God, just what a disaster. I mean, if you had a Raiders ticket, well, I guess it's just kind of a fuck you. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if you had a Raiders ticket, there's no way I would have stopped watching and said, there's no chance I'm going to hit this bet.
Right. All right, let's talk Bears and Packers. Drew, we get pretty contentious on this show because I get a lot of shit for being a Caleb Williams hater. I really didn't want to be a Caleb Williams hater. All that happened is I just noticed that I didn't think he was playing that well. But the Bears were finding success and the Bears were playing good. So by proxy, most people will just say that the quarterback plays well. But now I have no choice because the chat is putting me in a corner. I did take his under passing yards. It barely hit 192.5 on that last play. Thanks for the interception there. But the Bears, look, there's no way you can watch this team and not be impressed. You just can't.
Absolutely.
Did you watch this Bears Packers game?
Yeah, especially at the end of the I couldn't believe that they came back and almost tied the game.
It was awesome. And I know that this is going to be hard for people to hear. I maintain the stance that I still don't think Caleb Williams is playing as well as he could or should be, but I'm not writing the guy off. He's going to get better in this system, and he's making plays that you drafted him number 1 overall to be. When he rolled out to the sideline and threw that dime to Cole Kmet, and he had another play that was really good too. But Ben Johnson is just unbelievable. I mean, he's a great coach in getting his guys to believe and win and play tough and not. You were down 14-3 on the road in Green Bay. I think the Packers got the ball to start the second half. And
it was a perfect situation for the Bears to be like, you know what, we've been playing great for a month, but we're just not going to win today. And yeah, I mean, wow, I thought they were going to fall over and just roll over, and that was not the case at all. So kudos to them.
Yeah, Caleb has the wow plays, but he can't live. That's my problem. Is Caleb Williams he makes 1 to 2 wow plays a game. If he's going to be the wow play guy, he needs to make 5 to 6 because that's all he's really doing. He's great at getting out of the pocket. I don't know if you saw Micah Parsons on the sideline. He was so frustrated. You can't take the guy down. So there's a lot to like for Caleb Williams, but you can't watch him and tell me that he's playing really well. He's just not. He's just playing like an
He's
average.
playing better than I thought he was going to play, to be honest with you, because I didn't see Caleb Williams as a Midwest guy. I was like, man, this guy's going to go play in awful weather. He looks like he should be the quarterback of the Chargers or a team like that. This is going to be a disaster, and it has not been a disaster by any means this season. So,
said.
Good for the Bears. Bears are very comparable, like you said, to the Jags.
Yeah. The running game was still solid. I mean, they ran 32 carries, 138 yards, 4.3 yards per carry. Monungai's awesome. I love this guy, Monungai. And then on the flip side, Packers did what they needed to do. They got Christian Watson involved. Love made enough throws. He had one bad interception, 17 to 25, 234, 3 touchdowns. Good on the Packers. The Bears dropped to 9-4. Packers 9-3-1. Should be a fun playoff race. All he's doing is wild plays is a crazy take. What are you talking about? All he was doing is wild plays is a crazy take. I mean, or he's throwing it 5 yards to the tight end and checkdowns. Anyways, Rams 45-17. Not much to talk about here.
Well, I mean, the Cardinals, they exist. Somebody tweeted the Cardinals just exist in the 4 o'clock window to just lose by 4 touchdowns every week. I mean, how is fucking Jonathan Gannon still employed? Another team, another franchise that's in disarray. Where do they go from here? Obviously, they're moving on from Kyler Murray. Jacoby Brissett, nice backup quarterback. He won't be there next year. Again, a franchise that's going to be completely starting over. New head coach, new quarterback. They have no identity. I don't know what they're going to do.
Do you want Kyler Murray as a Jets fan?
No, absolutely.
I wouldn't either.
No, I don't know if there's going to be much of a market for him.
I probably wouldn't take a shot on him. I'd probably pass.
I mean, like, if you get him like for dirt cheap and I draft a quarterback, okay, but that's it.
He ain't going to be cheap. I don't think he'll be cheap. Last game of the night, Texans beat the Chiefs. I love it.
Thank God.
I love it. I'm so sick of the Chiefs, man. I really am. I'm so sick
I
of
had
them.
to Google this morning Patrick Mahomes' age. How old do you think he is?
Let's see. When did the Chiefs started building their dynasty? A couple years before COVID, like 2017, 2018. So it's been 7 years. He probably got drafted when he's like 21, 22. So he's 28.
Okay, so he's 30, but to me, like, he's 30. Moving like he's like 37. Like,
yeah.
I don't know why I think he's just out of shape because you've seen the picture of them with his shirt off. Mm-hmm. And I get it. The guy's had tremendous success, so I'm not even necessarily bashing him, but maybe this will be a season to be a wake-up call saying, okay, I need to, like, start taking things more seriously. You can do whatever the fuck you want when you're 22, 23 in terms of diet and exercise. But now that you're on the other side of 30, like, it's time for him to get in some better shape. Because just watching a little bit of that game before I went to bed last night, he was just moving around the pocket like he was pushing 40.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been a little bit more elusive, kind of Caleb Williams-ish, where it's like nothing's there, but he'll move out, he'll roll a throw across his body and make those plays. He would do that fucking all game. That's what made him so great. Now it's not really happening. And then he just immediately does this stupid fucking thing as soon as he walks in the huddle. It's so annoying. 14 of 33, 160, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 19 QBR. And we have to say this, and we've been talking about this, and I noticed this when the Bucs played the Texans. That defense is unbelievable.
Yeah, they say it's nasty. Yeah, they say. I mean, I was listening to Gruden talk about it this morning. He said that, yeah, their corners are shutdown corners. They have great safety, excellent pass rush. So yeah, they're going to be a team no one wants to see in the playoffs. The only thing that you worry, like, are they kind of like a 2010 Jets type team where they just don't have any offense? Yeah,
could be. CJ Stroud's not quite there yet. I guess he did okay. I didn't watch the second half of this game. 15 of 31, not ideal. 33 QBR, 203, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Woody Marks, 28 carries, 68 yards, 2.6 yards.
Not much running the ball either. So yeah, if they can get any offense going, sure, but I don't know if they have enough offense. No. You think Andy Reid retires after this year?
I think he should. I did go out on top. Yeah. Go out on top. There's nothing wrong with going out on top.
There'd be a lot of attractive spots for Mike Tomlin between if that job came open, if the Giants job comes out. Well, Giants job is open. So yeah, if you were Mike Tomlin, I'd almost want to get cut loose, kind of just get re-energized, fresh faces, somewhere else,
Well, talk about people's age. How old is Mike Tomlin? Do you know?
I mean, he's been around forever.
53.
Yeah, he must be young to retire. Oh yeah, I don't think he's going to retire. No, but Andy Reid should retire.
Yes. Also, I think Tomlin would be awesome for a Penn State job.
Nah.
No? You don't see him as like a kind of a college guy? Not seeing it? I think he'd be awesome.
He seems like a guy who's got no patience. You think he wants to go around and kiss 19-year-olds' asses?
I mean, he dealt with a bunch of fucking Antonio Brown and all these guys. You got to have a little patience and tolerance, don't you?
Not to switch it up too much, but how much of an egg on the face does Penn State have?
Oh, dude, I cannot think of a school that has tarnished their reputation more than Penn State. I just, it makes no sense to me how you're the first one to fire your coach and you're the last one to make a move. But now that you're on, Steak and I both, we're not Matt Campbell guys. Do you like this hire for Penn State?
I don't like it, but the only thing I will say is what was left.
No.
Why wouldn't they hire Brian Hartline?
Did he turn it down?
Well, I'm guessing I'm guessing because why would you take USF? He became South Florida's head coach. I assume you would take Penn State's job over South Florida, right?
Isn't he an Ohio State wide receiver?
He was, yes, and he's been their offensive coordinator this year. I'd much rather hire Brian Hartline than Matt Campbell.
Sure. I don't disagree. I don't think Matt Campbell is a very good coach.
And listen, I was one of those guys where get James Franklin out of here. I've had enough of him. But again, this is starting to look like we're wrong situation because, don't get me wrong, James Franklin, he's got lots of faults, but holy shit, man, guy wins a lot of football games. And you see what he's already done at Virginia Tech. They have like a top 20 recruiting class. Next year they're probably going to be 9-3. And 9-3 is a lot better than going 6-6 with Matt Campbell. So, yeah, definitely a bad situation in Penn State. It's like somebody leaving a relationship thinking that, the grass is greener. And all of a sudden now you're stuck with the ugly guy at the end of the bar. Bad situation.
I just think certain coaches are a right fit for certain teams. And I just think people, when you see Matt Campbell and the defense that people made, and some people were Iowa State fans and alumni, and I agree, like that's your guy. He's made you relevant. He's had, over the course of 10 years, I looked at his record. He had 1 11-win season. He had a 9-3 season with Brock Purdy and Breece Hall. He followed it up by going 7-6. I'm just like, he's great for that job.
He's definitely not better than James Franklin.
No, I don't.
He's definitely not better than James Franklin, and we're not even James Franklin guys. We're not James Franklin guys. But I can tell you right now, if Miami had to hire one of those two guys, please give me James Franklin because at least I know I'm going to win 9-10 games.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And
he's going to recruit his dick off.
James Franklin is a great Virginia Tech guy. I'm not a James Franklin guy. I thought it was a great decision for Penn State to move on. I can't, obviously now looking back, I can't believe they didn't have a plan, but Virginia Tech, this is a home run hire.
Oh, for sure.
And
absolutely. Because Virginia Tech's been in a joke for years. So he's at least going to get him back to, relevance, 8, 9, 10 wins. But again, I don't understand if there's any Big Ten fans in the chat. Why did they not hire Brian Hartline? I don't know. I feel like that's a home run hire for USF. To go from Golish to Brian Hartline, holy shit.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I don't know. The Ohio State to Penn State thing is kind of weird, but that whole Jim Knowles thing going from Ohio State to Penn State
that was money. That was money.
Yeah. Well,
Penn State evidently made him they doubled his salary or something like that. And I'm sure Ohio State was like, why the fuck do we need to pay you more money? We'll be just as good without you. So I don't blame them for not matching it. And then they got Matt Patricia instead.
Yeah. I think it's kind of a lame move from Penn State. It's like your biggest in-conference rival has a really good defensive coordinator. And you're like, let's just pay that guy more money and get him. It's like, why don't you fucking do something your own way? Go get your own guy. That would have been cool. Ryan Day and Jim didn't get along. Oh, gotcha. What has Brian Hartline done? I don't know. He just seems kind of like a fun coach.
He's just like the young. He's kind of just following the college model of like the young, exciting offensive play caller. At least he's just a wild card. I'm not saying he's necessarily going to be better than Matt Campbell, but like at least he's like the unknown. Whereas with Matt Campbell coming in, it's just like, I don't know. They're definitely not going to be better than James Franklin, Penn State.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, well, that's it for the NFL slate. We talked college football. There is a game tonight, Drew. Do you like anything between?
I like the Chargers tonight. Tonight. Yeah, just because the Chargers have a great pass defense, right? So obviously the Eagles, they cannot throw the football. So if I'm the Chargers, stack the box and win the game.
I don't know that they can stop the Eagles if they do stack the box, but they probably can because the Eagles offensive line, Lane Johnson's not back, I assume. They're not blocking well for Saquon Barkley, but I don't know that the Chargers have the guys personally in their defense for like a stout run blocking, or a run defense with this type of opponent. I could be way wrong. I like the under.
Yeah. Ugly game.
Yeah. Totals 41-42. We just had an under last night. I don't know. I can't see fireworks in this game personally, but
it's a big spot for the Chargers. Big spot for the Chargers. Primetime game against Super Bowl champs Jim Harbaugh. I like them. I would take them with the point side. What are they, like 2 or 3 point dogs?
Yeah. Yep. And the one thing I will say is this has to be a spot for the Eagles to get right, because you think about it. I talked about it was perfect for JJ McCarthy in this Vikings offense to get right, having that slow old Commanders defense coming in at home. Dude, the Eagles, it's December. They're looking rough. They're looking ugly. Get into a dome, play a team in LA that doesn't have a fucking fan base. You know the Philly fans are going to travel. It's going to be a home game on the road in LA in a dome, perfect conditions, prime time. I think this is a game to get right. So that's why I don't want to fade the Eagles.
What is the line officially?
It's 2.
Okay.
It's 2.
Yeah, I would take the Chargers.
Okay. Is Trey Lance? I mean, no, he's not playing. The line would be much bigger. Is it? It's got to be Herbert's playing, right? He's
yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's playing. He's fine.
All right. Eagles 20 team total 21.5 is interesting. It is interesting. All right, Drew, great job today. Everybody give it up for Drew. Can we give some fucking claps, some W's for Drew? I think he did a great job coming in, filling in for Steak Talking Ball. We'd love to have you on more often. Go. Hey, do us a favor. Do us all a favor. Can Miami just fucking show up? And
I agree. After all this shit that I've been talking, and Miami fans been talking, they better fucking show up. Yeah. Absolutely. Because we're gonna look like complete assholes if Texas A&M somehow wins the game 38-10. I'd be very shocked if that happens. Miami's playing great football. They're starting to get healthy. I'm surprised they're such big dogs. I think it's 4 point. Well, it was 4.5. It's already down to 4. Miami needs to show up in a big way. 100%.
I'm not really a Marcel Reed guy, even though he's much better at home than on the road. But I think I'm going to take the points with the Canes. We'll talk about that later in the week. All right, Drew. Thanks a lot. Enjoy your day,
guys.
Good luck this weekend or next weekend, whatever the fuck the game is. Actually, I don't know when the exact date is of the games. Do you guys know when the date is of the games? W. Drew, by the way. Let's give it up for Drew again for cranking out a nice hour and 45 minutes on a corp ass Monday. Here we go. Bulls playoffs. Oh, December 19th. So it is 2 weeks. Right? 2 weeks. Does that sound right? They are playing December 20th, Saturday, December 20th, 19th. Yep. Make True a weekly segment. We like to get them on more for sure. For sure. Yeah. Don't worry, guys. I'm here. W's. What's up? Rush Chew guy is injured. Quick passes, handoffs. I think great discourse. Love to listen. Appreciate it. Like I said, I've known Drew since I was in middle school, and him and I would talk sports all day, every day. Sometimes I go walk my dog, and I would just call Drew and I would talk to him for an hour. And my wife would be like, "Where the fuck are you?" I'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. We started talking about, the fucking Rays Orioles or something." Shout out Drew Bug. Okay. JJ McCarthy led his team to NCAA National Championship, best NFL future. Yep. Cornfields. Don't worry. I'll clip it when I said that the Vikings were going to be my best bet, and Steak almost threw up. Anyways, guys, thanks a lot for hanging out. And for the subs, Dead Press Carter giving out 5 subs. Let's fucking go. Dead Press Carter. Longtime listener in here. The Gummy One, Reeve Trees, Derek Burgess, sounds like a linebacker. Spurksman 2K, Mulehorn, like that. You sound like a guy that's in the trenches. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good luck on your wagers tonight. It's a little early, but I'm going to shut it down. Got some shit to do. We'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow. Steak will be back 10 a.m. We'll talk some more college football. We'll talk more about the playoffs, more about the matchups, and recap some of the games. All right. Good luck tonight. Don't forget, shout out Pickett. Download Pickett. Use promo code DGen if you do. Sync your sports books, track your wagers, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right, peace, guys. Oh wait, no, we can end it this way. You guys say, I say you're welcome because you all say what? Thank you, DGen, for the hour and 45-minute stream. We really appreciate it. All you guys, you don't have to thank me, but that's very nice of you to do so. Everybody have a great day. Peace.